Makes no sense. You're see-through, Mobar. Are you a ghost?
The one and only.
The one and only ghost? The Holy Ghost?
Yes.
Okay, kids, let's go.
Let's go.
There has been an awakening.
Ouch.
Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
Ow, that
You
hurt.
guys are so funny.
I go up and down. I can't go say, ow.
These guys are so annoying.
Shit. You ain't C3 penis
I
face
agree.
and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good Day Galaxy Rogue Squadron podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are recording from the depths of Ohio. I am Commander Cody.
I am Opar Cody. Dude, I don't know what happened, but I tweaked my back before. I was replacing the surge protector under my desk because I needed one with more outlets. And I was laying on my back, and I don't know, I just tweaked the wrong way, and I pulled a muscle, and that's like almost everything hurts. I'm trying to stay in like one position.
Almost everything.
Almost everything. So don't make me laugh. Don't do any comedy.
Everything but my fingernails and my toenails.
Pretty
but
much.
Other than that, it fucking hurts.
Yeah, so don't do any comedy this episode. I'm just going to try to sit in one location.
Today it's all facts.
All facts.
Facts
and-
for you fools.
Yeah, no speculation, no news, all facts. That's it.
Not a single joke will be expired today.
How's your quarantine going?
That's fine.
Are you back in full force, or are you still working from home?
This week I'll be getting back on the road. Actually, probably tomorrow.
Nice.
So
Good.
yeah, ready to do it. But yeah, I mean, dipping the toes in, seeing what happens.
We need to get back to some level of fucking normalcy, wouldn't you say?
Wouldn't you agree?
Don't you agree? That's what I think. I just feel like, I mean, things have been pretty normal over here, I guess, except for working at the house instead of at the office. But now I'm back here, so everything's fine.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I feel like it is normal. I don't know. I don't feel like we go out that much, but the work thing, not traveling for work, is the weirdest thing for me. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, even the gyms are open back up. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So.
Nice. Very well.
That's where the missus is today. That's why I can yell as loud as I want.
Talk
and
trash.
Not get yelled at. So.
Yell at women. Yell about glass armor. Say, I think ebony armor is the best kind of armor. Fuck glass armor.
You know what I think?
That's what
She's
I think
still
of
got
it.
cameras and set up, so I'm not gonna
She's
say
got security systems ready. Security systems are when
Yep.
she's out of the house. When you're in the house.
Protocol.
Yeah. she's pissed.
Imperialisms.
She's watching.
Are in depth.
She's waiting and watching.
Waiting in the wings, in the closets, and in the zooms. It's got hot. It got hot all of a sudden.
Oh, yes.
Weather Squadron.
Yes, it did.
So
Yes, it did indeed. It was a great weekend. Memorial Day weekend. Good stuff.
yeah, it was. We had torrential downpours all week, and then we hit the weekend, and it was just sunshine throughout. So, and today I think it hit about 90. So
Yeah, it was nasty
it
out
was.
there. Nasty
It
in
was
a good way.
yeah. Been pretty breathtaking. So, I see you're drinking the Liquid Death. I saw ads for that a few months ago, and I considered getting it, but is it
Dude.
just water?
I've been all about it. Yeah, it's just carbonated water, sparkling water. It looks like some Savage beer, but it's just sparkling water. But it's good, man.
Yeah.
It's tasty. And it's like, I'm not drinking that LaCroix nonsense. I want some Liquid Death. I want some Liquid Death.
The
This is the
only
most
difference
Savage
is the
water in the
can.
can. Brand is huge. I mean, yeah, this. I feel much better. I feel like it tastes better, even though it probably is the same water from the same
You're
spring.
trying to present yourself as a human, not
Exactly.
a female,
Exactly.
because there's a difference.
Yes, you're onto something there. No,
There we
I
go.
did see that ad for Liquid Death, and it caught my eye, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And they had a sale for coronavirus special, so I bought bought some, and it's delicious. I'm all about it. I'm quenching my thirst.
For sure.
It matches too.
So we've got no news, so it's gonna be a short episode, maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
We have a little bit of news.
I did put something together that I'd like to get to a little later, and the list is called the new original trilogy. So I made a list of my favorite things that they've added to that timeline through movies and games, and the original trilogy was somewhat limited in 4, 5, and 6 in the expanse of what they had at their fingertips.
Yeah.
But the more recent like Disney editions have added a lot of depth and a lot of characters and a lot of storylines and a lot of cool stuff. So I made a short list that I called the new OT.
Cool.
So we'll get to that a little later.
I'm curious.
While we're kind of on the spectrum of what's today's news, happy birthday, Christopher Lee. He would have been old as fuck, but I did see that.
But now he's immortal.
He passed away. What? He's been gone for what? Almost 3 years. 3 years
or 4.
maybe?
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so I saw that. I thought it was a nice. Today is what, May 27th. So
We got to shout it
Christopher
out.
Lee Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Christopher
Yeah.
Lee.
What do you think he added to the character of Count Dooku? Like the Dooku character had a lot of depth to it, but what do you think as a actor he added to the character of I almost said Vader, of Dooku?
Poise. Like that was the interesting thing about Dooku is he was like an aristocratic Sith Lord, which seems super weird, but for some reason with Christopher Lee at the helm, it makes sense. It just seems like, he's been around the block. He's Count Dooku's like 85 years old when he dies.
Yeah.
So he's just seen a lot, and after we hear his backstory from the audiobook, I thought, no, he embodied it. It was perfect.
Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit of shit about the Dooku audiobook, but there were some things that I did like in it. I enjoyed the family ties that they got into and that they created that he went back to. And that's kind of where he adopted or readopted the name Count. And that was kind of his like launching point to the dark side. He left the Jedi Order. So, I mean, there were some highlights in that book. Few and far between, if I'm going to give it to you straight. But, the few and far betweens were pretty decent.
Yeah.
So
I'm with it.
I'm for it, and then obviously like him training Qui-Gon, and you see some aspects of that in that book. But yeah, what? One thing that comes to mind with Christopher Lee acting is his voice. Dooku just commands your attention.
He's a force on screen.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I like picture him in the Jedi Council and him having a dispute, even with like Mace Windu, and he'd just be like, no. And you're like, and Mace would be like, holy shit. Yes, sir. What do you need?
I resign. I'm scared. Yeah.
Could you imagine the butting heads of Count Dooku and Mace Windu? Jesus, two hard-headed fucks.
Well, they talk shit to each other in that arena for a second. Also, Dooku's so confident. I think that's one thing that Christopher Lee really carries too. He's just like literally up until the point where Anakin cuts his hands off. That's like the first time you see any sort of doubt or nervousness or fear in him at all. He's just cocky because he knows that he can fuck everything up. He just, forgot about the chosen one.
He has like an unwavering to him. Like no matter what you're going to tell him, he knows it. He's been there and done it.
Yeah.
Like until he comes across fucking Anakin Skywalker, the one of one, the Jesuses of all of them.
Everyone underestimates Anakin. That's not his fault.
Well, it's like,
it's not your fault, dude.
It's not, and everyone outside of Anakin Skywalker should probably have feared someone like Dooku, but he kind of just, it's almost like Dooku had heard the prophecy of the chosen one and never believed it, and then he got killed by him, and it was like that half second before he died, he's like, "Oh, this is the dude."
Damn. I see what Sheev was. Let's see what
his
she
thought
was doing.
was, "Oh." I found him. Zap, done. There goes his head.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's a savage. I like it. I love when a character is in Star Wars is started on screen and then carried into off screen in books or whatever other material. I feel like we have more content off screen for Count Dooku, but knowing that it's Christopher Lee in that role when he was started, I feel like you just carry that over. Like you carry a little bit of him with you, even if you're reading a comic book about Dooku or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I'm just dreaming of that scenario of him interacting with Yoda and Mace Windu, and even like people like Kiadi Mundi. They're like those one-offs that are extremely fucking powerful, but have little screen time. So like him and Kit Fisto talking about their pasts and even a species difference. Like it'd be really cool to really get into that. Yeah, I think there's still, I don't know, like going forward, you can't really do, get it? Can't really do anything with him unless you do like an extremely young Dooku.
I would love to see that.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, love it or hate it, like Solo was a good movie and they did it pretty well. And I don't care if you hated the acting, like it's worth a viewing. So like if they had a young actor do a younger Dooku in like his Jedi trials and him planting that distrust or distaste for the Republic, and seeing that unfold throughout his training, be really cool.
I agree. I feel like you were a little too lax about Solo there, in my opinion. You're just like, Solo, I guess it's okay. You can watch it if you want. I think Solo's fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, but outside of your thoughts, that people can dislike it, but it's still worth a viewing. Like you could absolutely hate the idea of someone else playing Han Solo.
My thoughts are the only thoughts. That's the only thoughts. No, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean.
We got Zale out here. He says Jedi Dooku would be cool to see still.
I agree.
No, I agree. And it's nice that they do plant him at such an old age that there is a lot of possible. I mean, you could put like a 20-year span.
Yeah.
Make a fucking live action Mando Dooku. Let's do a fucking training season of Dooku, and he attacks some shits and wins. Obviously, he can't do it. Maybe he can be a single. What am I trying to do?
I have no idea. Are you talking about the Mandalorian the show or just Mandalorians in general?
No, I'm talking about like having a one-off like series of the Mandalorian and then the Cassian, and then just make a fucking Dooku one. Of a young Dooku.
I would love that, but I feel like he is pretty low on their list of characters that they're going to make a show about. If I had to guess what they're planning over there.
Yeah. No, I agree, but it's also one of the more interesting. Like a Qui-Gon Jinn. He only has like 25 minutes of screen time. Well, he has a lot in episode 1, but my point is he's there, one of the greatest things ever, and then he's gone, and you're like, fuck, I would love more of him, which we are starting to get in some of the comics and stuff. But
Qui-Gon's the best.
I'm wrapping this all up because, so while we talk about Dooku here, I came across a Wikipedia page that mentioned that Dooku was like number 14 or 15 of the Lost 20. Have you ever heard of the Lost 20?
Ain't never crossed my mind.
So I guess it's a known unknown thing. The Lost 20 was like 20 higher up Jedi that left the order.
Yeah.
So he was one of 20, obviously. But I guess there was a deleted scene in Attack of the Clones between Obi-Wan and Jocasta Nu that were actually somewhat discussing the Lost 20. And actually the deleted scene is called The Lost 20.
Interesting.
It shows here, I'll share my screen and we can kind of walk through it here. Oh, you're going to have to find it then.
Yeah, I pulled it up on the Wookup. The
I
Wikipedia.
I was gonna watch the deleted scene. It's only
Oh
like,
shit! Where
those
where can I
abilities.
find such a thing?
YouTube has everything.
Is that the video site?
So one where it's hand puppets and mustard.
I'm scared. My computer's been struggling
Yeah.
lately. I'm scared
For-
that I'm gonna play
For
this.
something that could be played out in like a really deep, long storyline, or at least like, I don't know, timeline of the Lost 20. The idea that, well, I mean, realistically, is Ahsoka one of the Lost 20?
Yeah.
I would assume Anakin has to be, but yeah, I just don't know, where it all starts and ends.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I'll cue this up real quick. We can watch this shit. Everyone enjoy. Let's see if I can get some audio coming. Play.
Play it.
Nothing's happening. I'm 7 seconds in. Nothing's happening. There we go.
It's a very weird scene.
Did you call for assistance?
Yes, I did.
He has a very powerful face, doesn't he? He was one
It's
of
weird
the
that there's a
most
huge
brilliant
bust
Jedi
of
I've had the
Dooku.
privilege of knowing.
What do you think she does
I
that
never
statue
understood
at night?
why he quit.
Well, one might say he was always a bit out of step with the decisions of the council. Much like your
So
old
he was pissed at
master,
the council.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Really?
Oh, yes, they were very individual thinkers. Idealists. In the end, I
Political
think he
idealist.
Political
because he
idealist.
lost faith in the Republic. He disappeared for 9 of 10 years and turned up recently as head of the separatist movement.
It's very interesting. I'm not sure I completely understand.
Well, you didn't
It
call
makes-
me over
it-
here
it
for
makes
a
Obi-Wan
history
sound like a
lesson.
fucking
Are you
idiot.
having a problem, Master Kenobi?
So he left. Yes, he left.
Having
I don't
a
really
problem,
understand.
Master Kenobi. What does leaving mean? Oh, now he runs a separatist. Who are the separatists? I don't understand. He's just looking for excuses to do plot exposition there. Just like, how can we get Jaqar Sanu to explain things to the audience?
Yeah, I've never really noticed those busts. I'm on like a freeze frame here
Yeah.
of the Jedi Archives, but it shows busts at the end of each like row of books. I've never really paid attention, and now that I know one of them's Dooku, I'm wondering what the other ones are.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
why would they keep Dooku up there if he left?
I was just
feel
gonna
like
say-
step one would be to take that shit down.
Like, why would they put up busts of the Lost 20 if they were now lost and like some of them are Sith Lords or had become Sith
It
Lords?
could
It's so
be-
weird.
Maybe they were a little more clairvoyant in their thinking than you and I originally thought. That maybe they thought, learn from your fucking mistakes. These people left.
Yeah,
There's something you can learn from them leaving.
that'd be that'd be good for the Jedi. Unexpected.
But I don't know. I'm assuming this isn't the Lost 20. Those are just busts of the Jedi Council or something.
Oh, possibly. Well, it says here like with that picture, there's a couple busts and it says possible members of the Lost 20. I don't think all 20 of them are named.
Well, and because Dooku was only like number 14, it would be an incomplete. Lost 20 keeps going. Like, it's over several thousand years that the Lost 20 happened, I think.
Yeah, it is. Also, it says that some of the busts are George Lucas, Rob Coleman, and John Knoll, who are people, obviously George, but people that worked on the movies. I wonder if they were supposed to be just like random Jedi. They just put their busts in there. That's funny.
That pisses me off.
I hate
Put a
George
Mopar
Lucas
up
now. I know. Come on.
I hate the Jedi.
Come on. Put Ahsoka in there. Oh, wait. You didn't know about that yet.
Oh, that hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet. No, it's cool. Watching those deleted scenes is always so weird because it's unfinished. So just seeing those things so out of place is just it's just random.
Yeah, and it was like obvious. It didn't really add anything. A little bit of tie to Dooku leaving, but I don't think you need to explain that. We all know Anakin falls to the dark side. We don't need to go over those bounds again with Dooku. But yeah, I
Anakin's
thought it
a
was
Lost
interesting,
20.
digging up Dooku news and coming across the Lost 20.
No, absolutely. Absolutely,
I wonder-
Mopar.
I I actually, the weird thing is I couldn't find a list of the Lost 20. I didn't look that hard, but the Wikipedia page didn't have it.
Yeah, I think it was like a concept. They never finished it, so they didn't have a list of like all of them.
Well,
and it's Legends.
I wonder if it's canon at all. Oh, it is Legends?
It was on the Legends tab, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's forbidden.
Man, that would have been a good idea. Just, I mean, that doesn't hurt anything. It does limit you, I guess, if you want to, you know, discuss it. Because I guess Kylo would have to have been one. Possibly Ahsoka. Vader, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of them. You're adding up in like 30 years. You got
no.
years that
it said Dooku was the last one. So it's like 20 that spanned a certain amount of time, like thousands of years, and Dooku was the last one.
Interesting. I 100% thought I read that Dooku was like number 12.
Oh. I thought, maybe I'm wrong. Give me a list.
Yeah, I need a list.
Oh, no, here it is. Overtime, more would leave. 12 by 990 BBY. And ending with the 20th member, Master Dooku, in 32 BBY.
How weird that it would end. I guess it would end because Vader destroys everything and destroys the archives, and like there's no more lists anymore.
Yeah, the Jedi have more important things on their plate than making lists of people that left them.
Yes.
Wow. Darth Tyrannus.
Dooku was compelled to betray his disciple after Sidious became suspicious of his own apprentice's intentions. A lot of stress between the Siths over here.
I know. I feel like they can never sleep with both eyes closed. They're always on edge. Someone's going to jump out and assassinate them at any minute. Fuck that.
Zale said he always assumed the busts were notable Jedi, like the NFL Hall of Fame. Just busts of people.
Well, yeah.
This
NFL Hall of Fame plus George Lucas.
Yep.
I think it said Obi-Wan was one of them, too.
Oh, that's dumb.
Not the Lost 20, obviously, but the busts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, man. Yeah. What? Any Mando news or anything? Ahsoka's back again, still, always?
Nothing since they announced the entire cast and all the spoilers last week. I haven't heard anything new. I'm a few episodes behind on that documentary, so I need to catch up on the Disney Gallery.
Oh, so am I.
News-wise, I know we saw this in the group chat earlier today. They're coming up with a new set of 4 Funko Pops, 2 of which are Revan and Malak. Lord Malak. Only at GameStop, it says. So we got Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Shadow Trooper, which I think is from Force Unleashed, and Hooded Yoda. Coming out on July 20th.
That's I'm surprised to say the least that they would do that. Obviously they would sell.
Yeah.
But like for how hands off they've been with that whole storyline, it's interesting that they would go full force and be like Funko Pops, Malak and Revan, and it feels like they're making it canon without making it canon. Like these characters are here.
Well, they've dropped hints and things that like lead back to the Old Republic, so in a way it's kind of canon, but like not really. So I don't know. I think it depends. But I feel like they're much more lenient when it comes to toys and stuff, because they put the Revan Black series out a couple years ago. That was like their bonus figure for the year, and they've done Jaina Solo and a couple other things. So I feel like all bets are off when it comes to the toys and stuff. Yeah,
that's true. Which is a nice, I would legitimately buy a Lego set of the Ebon Hawk. Like there's some opportunities out there.
That'd be so savage.
Wouldn't that be cool? That's what I'm saying. Sign us up.
I bet. Come on, if we hire us, Kathy, please. I bet someone has custom made one. Let me search up here. Lego Ebon Hawk. Because I'm sure somebody is a Lego genius and they figured it out.
What do you do for a living? I'm a Lego genius.
Yeah, that's pretty savage. I don't know if you can see the screen, but That's pretty cool. Damn, that's cool. I wonder if someone has gone far enough to make instructions on how to build this. Because I would definitely... I guess I don't know how you would like buy enough parts. Because then you have to get parts from like different sets. That looks really cool though. This is just like a 3D concept, but still looks dope.
Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities out there, guys. HK, if you made an HK Black Series, purchased immediately.
Yep.
Like, come on, step the fuck up. It's plastic. It's not that hard to make. Just load it up and print them.
I feel like they need to do like an archive series of toys. Like they need to have like a Force Friday where it's just a bunch of shit from Legends that they make.
Legends Day. Let's make a whole Legends Day.
Everyone can talk about Old Republic on Twitter without people getting mad on this day only.
Luke Skywalker was God. I want God Skywalker. Please. He just comes with his own cloud that he walks on, and,
That's
and his head's real big because he knows everything.
Because he knows everything. He doesn't, and he's smart enough to know that he doesn't know everything. That's why Luke Skywalker's okay.
You know, I stepped on my own toes, metaphorically, physically, and in my mind. I was thinking about the original trilogy, and you know, the one thing that I absolutely hate is Wedge and all that dog shit.
What, just Rebel pilots you hate?
I hate to hate it because there is like there's potential there, but I was thinking about this new original trilogy list that I have, and I was like, it'd be cool is if you had a lot more dog fighting pilot stuff, and I was like, oh wait, Wedge Antilles. It's like, fuck. Maybe it's just his name pisses me off. I don't know what it is, but yeah, my mind kind of went askew there for a minute before we started recording, and I was thinking about different stuff or different like visions of what Star Wars could be. We're getting into some cool territory where it's no longer good, bad, Jedi, Sith. We finally got out of that. We do have Solo. We do have Rogue One. Even like Jedi Fallen Order. The name's all over it. It feels like there's more at stake than just Jedi versus Sith.
Mm-hmm.
There's everyday people involved. They're making a difference. There's a lot of cool stuff. And even the Clone Wars, it kind of adds to that aspect. But, that's where my mind was going, is like dog fighting in the air, actual ground war battlefield.
Dog fighting in the air as opposed to dog fighting underwater.
Yeah.
Dog fighting in a volcano.
Naval fighting above the ground.
Dog fighting in the sand.
Sand fighting. Anakin.
Sand fighting. They have all those rebel pilots from A New Hope. Wedge, Antilles, Biggs Darklighter, Porkins, Jack Porkins. And there's like 5 other people. There's like 9 X-Wings.
I just see some of my favorite characters are like perfect pilots. You think of Kylo, Poe's a badass, Anakin. I mean, they're all hell pilots. So, it'd be cool to see like their training or their if they got into a very bad situation, piloting themselves out of it. Because I feel like they tried to do that with the original trilogy, but it was just so poorly done. Everybody dies except for Luke. When he gets shot, something just shuts down and he softly lands.
And then fixes it.
And flies away. Yeah.
There's probably a lot of that shit in like Rebels and Clone Wars that you could find. Just like focused on piloting and space battles and dogfights and stuff.
Yeah.
I bet.
I don't know. It was just a thought of really picking apart the war aspect of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And different like Navy, Army, Air Force aspects where we can really how they interact, how they support each other. Because we don't really see it. I mean, like happenstance, in like episode 7, where it's like a ground war on Takodana, and then the air fighters come in, starfighters come in and actually help the ground forces and free up people. But
right.
I think it's cool. And obviously, I'm sorry, we did see a lot of that in Rogue One. On
Hell Scarif. Yeah, Rogue One. Yeah, that was a great combo.
One of the coolest parts. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it's space, atmosphere, and ground, which is awesome. Rogue One is a good movie.
Yeah, and that blend is so cool. How one affects the other all the way down to the troops on the ground. Oh, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you had stealth in there too. It had everything. It had Star Destroyers and Death Stars too, and Darth Vader was there. Lightsaber.
Swinging. He swung the thing.
A friend of Admiral
Killed a bunch.
Akbar was there. Everyone was there. That's all you need. Just watch
Admiral
Rogue One.
Akbar.
That's all Star Wars that there is. Just watch Rogue One on repeat.
You could. I do feel like you could get a very good sense of what Star Wars is if you just watch Rogue One. Like a great expanse of what Star Wars is. The only thing that's really missing is probably the biggest thing is Jedi and Sith. I mean, you get to see Darth Vader at the end, but there's no like high level interactions.
Yeah, Chirrut drops a lot of knowledge though.
That's true.
He's a savage. I like him. He's a non-dogmatic savage.
Well, he's a non-Jedi Force user. You know, he doesn't swing one way or the other. He's a good person that's Force sensitive.
From a certain
and that's
point
kind
of
of where
view.
it lies.
Sorry,
So-
I'm sitting back a little bit. Yeah, he's a good person from a certain point of view.
I mean, he's a good person.
I know. I'm just making that. I'm just making that case. I'm just being that guy. You understand? Only thing else really that I saw for Star Wars news is the High Republic stuff is getting pushed back.
What?
It's getting delayed.
They just announced it.
Well, then everyone decided that this virus was scary and they shut everything down. Let me switch over to the browser here. I don't know what the release date was. I thought it was like August or maybe fall. Everything got pushed back to early 2021. So the first one's supposed to release on January 5th. And then the second one on February 2nd of next year.
Great. Maybe they were just more focusing their efforts on completing Mando because that was like right here on the docket. They needed to finish that up for sure.
No, it's
But I
a
feel like that would
totally
be two completely different teams.
Yeah, it's a totally different team. I think it's just delays because people are having trouble working in groups while everything's supposed to be quarantined. So
You're writing books. How many people got to be involved?
well, it's a whole team and it's a whole new era of things. They're basically
I
doing
guess
like
the whole era thing. There's got to be decisions made on styles and designs and storylines. So yeah, there's larger picture.
they're doing like movie level concept art and all that stuff, world building and everything else. They issued like a little statement here too. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I will highlight something because they're teasing some things. Let's see. He's just teasing things to look out for in the books, including a few things that we probably have never heard of. The Hero of Hetzal, the twins, the Blade of Bardota, the stuff that I've never heard of. And then he also says the Staros and Santeca clans and the Storms. So Lore Santeca says something about the Santeca clans here. So his line must have gone back a little bit. His family must have been Jedi or something like that.
Interesting.
Very.
Yeah, I wonder.
Interesting.
I wonder how often. Let's go. I mean, go back a way since the Republic Jedi weren't able to get married. But if Jedi ever had children that weren't Force sensitive, like how they would treat that, like a Roman view, or was it the Spartans that would like kill weak babies because they didn't want a race? You know what I'm saying? Like, what have you watched 300? They get rid of the weak
I
babies.
think that's Voldemort that you're thinking of.
It's in 300. This is Sparta. They're killing the weak children because it's not worth. They gotta. The guy next to you's got to be just as strong as you to save your life. So it's.
What do they do to the parents when they're like, you're a warrior savage and then you have a weak ass bitch child? Shouldn't you be kicked
They cut
out?
your dick off.
There you go.
They cut it off. They said no more of your people.
No more respawning for you.
No more.
No, you can't have it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Down and dirty.
I'm excited that there's a brand new era, but it's nothing that I'm like, I'm not salivating on the end of my seat waiting for this to come out. So the delay is not huge for me. I'm more concerned about the Disney Plus shows, so I'm more curious about those.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the novels and everything are there to support what's on screen. Very few times have I ever went to a novel to learn something brand new that I don't know anything fucking about. It always spawns from something on screen.
Supplemental, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like...
But this might be good that we're not like... Sometimes I go to the Last Jedi novel because I love the movie and I want to learn more, and it's, I don't want to say a letdown, but it doesn't have exactly what I'm looking for. So maybe starting fresh where there's no expectation with these characters having been on screen or this or that. You can come at it with a clean slate. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. The potential, at least. And like you, I just don't, it's delayed. Whatever. Yeah.
Delayed.
Now,
whatever.
I did hear some rumblings that, speaking about Mando season 2, that there's gonna be too many people on screen. I mean, there's hints of Boba, Ahsoka, Mando, Baby Yoda. I mean, it's gonna be all over the place. I have no issues, 0%, as long as they do it right. I have a feeling that Ahsoka's only gonna be on like one episode, so who gives a shit?
You never know. She could become like a supporting character. My personal preference would be for them to have not said shit about it. I really still wish they would just leave everything to be a surprise. Like if they can hide Baby Yoda, I'm sure they can hide Ahsoka and Captain Rex and whoever else. So I don't know.
Yeah,
they're probably just like
still the biggest.
They have nothing to release and nothing to say, so they're probably just like, we need to get a little bit of news stirring up.
Well, that was my point. I made a few episodes ago for Force Friday or whatever the fuck it was. Oh, May the 4th. It was like they had nothing else to do. Ahsoka's here, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Star Wars again."
Star Wars is still around.
Yeah. All right, moving on. A little bit of gaming news. Let's see here. Not Star Wars gaming news. I'm sorry, but the Minecraft fans. The new game Minecraft Dungeons was released.
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about that.
It's like a dungeon crawler in the Minecraft world. That's what I was saying. It's like Gauntlet Legends, but everything's Minecraft. You pick up different weapons, you have upgrades.
Nice.
And it looked like they were hinting to some like a mage, a soldier, or whatever, all the different levels.
Different classes. Nice.
I watched PewDiePie play it for like 20 seconds. He was loving the hell out of it. It looked fun. I'm down for like a simple dungeon crawler, co-op, 4 people in, and let's just fucking swing away and shoot people and just have millions of people come at us. Who cares?
Yeah, for sure. No, it sounds good. I like it. I have not been back on the Minecraft.
It's free.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Because I
downloaded it last week, pre-downloaded.
I've not been in the Minecraft server for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you get enough of it, but I poke in every once in a while just to, I'll go mine some shit. Literally, I'll just go down to my mine and just dig holes. So,
kill some time, dig up some dirt, dig up some cobblestone. Yeah, it comes in waves.
Yeah.
I've been all about the Overwatch, so I know I'll go back to Minecraft here soon. Is it out as of now?
Yeah, I think it actually launched today, if not yesterday. Actually, maybe yesterday, but it should be out. Yeah, this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so something different. Try it out, see what happens. Like I said, I saw PewDiePie equipping many different weapons, and they all had different damage points. So it looks like there are aspects of like an RPG, adding to your power, adding to your damage, adding to your armor. And I'm assuming maybe they do a little bit of Minecraft stuff too, where you get to a certain point and you can kind of explore and dig and find resources and add to your guy.
Nice.
I haven't seen that yet, but I imagine they would do that in a Minecraft server here.
I don't know what that is. I've seen that.
The other thing that Tommy Boy and I and Mr. Dylan Richards, shout out to him, he suggested to download Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Dylan Richards, yeah.
Which is a pirate game. Very enjoyable, very serious. It's like an extremely cartoonish, in-depth game. What I mean by that is you jump on your ship. You cannot what do you even do? Drive a ship, float a ship. You don't pilot a ship by yourself. You're gonna wreck. You're gonna die. You can't defend yourself if you're being attacked. There's not you gotta raise the anchor. You gotta lower the sails. You gotta tweak the sails. You gotta aim. You gotta watch. There's so many aspects, and that's what Dylan Richards mentioned. You know, if you get a group of 3 or 4, you can just knock it out and go treasure hunting. You can go kill some pirates. You can go exploring.
Nice.
A lot of X marks the spot treasure. Like, here's a map of this island. This X is where it's at. Use your compass and everything you've got to really find where that is.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like I said, the piloting of the ship aspect is actually pretty fucking intense.
That's interesting because, like, it's funny in Assassin's Creed, the one where you can sail. You just jump in the boat and you're steering this massive fucking ship with just your what do you call that thing?
This is a Dodge. It's a wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the steering wheel. It's like, it's got a name. I can't think of it. But yeah, you're just one assassin and you're just like piloting a giant ship meant for like 50 people by yourself. So that sounds interesting. Now I'm curious what the fuck that ship. What is?
And also, again, that is on Game Pass. So if you've got Game Pass, you can download Sea of Thieves for free. I would recommend it. It's a pretty intense game without having a lot of battle to it, which sounds dumb, but there's it's not easy. It's not easy by any means, and it is very cartoony, but it's pretty in depth. I mean, if you get shot, you got to go down below deck and scoop out the water, throw the water out of your ship. You got to fix the hull.
Jesus.
You got to fix the mast. If they shoot like your mast down, you got to fix the. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects. So in a naval battle, you got people firing, you got people steering, you got people repairing.
Well, how many people can you have on your boat at the same time?
There's different size boats, so you can start like a game with a really small boat that'll do like 3 people, or I think you can go up to 5 in like a larger boat.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking intense, man.
Nice.
I like it. So
I'll have to check that out.
Recommended by Mopar. It's not. I would say there's a learning curve.
Yeah,
it's not one you can just jump in and do.
Okay, I like that. The steering mechanism of the ship is also called the helm. That's what I was thinking of.
The helm, isn't that like a hat, a metal armored hat? Is a helm? You put on a helm?
That's a helmet.
You
Get
got
it?
me.
That's the worst quip ever. Yeah, I might have to check out the Sea of Thieves here, man. Sometimes Overwatch just gets so competitive. I'm just like, I just need to like, well, maybe this is not the best option. I was going to say I need to like relax and do a game every once in a while. So I don't know. Maybe this one's a little too complicated for that. That's usually where I go over to Minecraft, but I just haven't been feeling it lately.
Well, I feel like you could play Sea of Thieves in a very cautious way. If you've got a person on the lookout. See, like, say there's 3 of us on a ship and we come up to an island. One person's going to be on the island, possibly 2, but you've always have to have one person back on the ship in case someone comes up on you.
Yeah.
If you are being attacked, you've got to float the ship somewhere else. I mean, there's different aspects. You can't just leave your ship or it's going to fucking sink you. You're done. So
nice.
Yeah, there's just different stuff. So and there's some like pirate folklore aspects to it. If you're in a bar and you're talking to someone, he'll mention like, oh, the legend of Jackass Bahones was on this banana island, and he said something about this tree. If you find that banana island and go to a specific tree, there's gonna be something you're gonna find.
He said something about this tree. Go find that tree.
I'm gonna uproot that tree. I want to go.
Oh my gosh. What did you say his name was?
Banana Jehomes? I don't know.
Jehovah's Witness?
Jehovah's Bananas?
I've heard about this game a lot, but I've never seen it and I never played it, so I'm gonna download it.
Yeah. Pretty fun. So that's my thoughts on any new games. We're not gonna get another Star Wars game for probably 4 or 5 years, so fuck that.
Well, Shinobi was saying something about a rumor about KOTOR 3. And of course it's just a rumor. But we also know that Lucasfilm is working on something that is Old Republic era or Old Republic themed.
Yeah.
But it's all rumors right now, so we don't know if it could be a sequel. It could be like KOTOR 3. Could be a remake of the first one. Maybe the first two together. Or it could be something brand new in Old Republic territory.
See, the link that Shinobi shared, I read, and it said something about it being a sequel.
Yeah.
Or at least someone confirmed that they're working on some aspects of a sequel to KOTOR.
Yeah. It says Knights of the Old Republic remake rumored to be in development at EA. The latest, but there's no details. The latest rumor indicates that a project is underway to integrate elements from the first two games in order to bring certain things into the Star Wars canon. I guess. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much they're going to tweak it, because it can't be the same game, and it can be loosely tied, I assume. But the fact that Darth Revan is Legends means that there's some aspects of KOTOR and KOTOR 2 that they can't use, I feel like.
This article's too long.
Can.
I'm not reading it right now.
Maybe the sequel that they're working on will completely canonize everything that they're...
That would be nice, and I feel like that's
KOTOR.
what they're leading to, because like they can drop hints. Like Revan's name has been mentioned in canon, so like he is... The entity of Revan is canon. It's just the details of the story and the fact that, you know, were you a Sith? Were you a Jedi? What's the canon version? That's the kind of stuff that's conflicting. So, I don't know. If they do it, just get Drew's opinion on this thing, please.
If they make a KOTOR 3 or a sequel or whatever you want to call it, and they don't make it an RPG, I'm legitimately going to be livid. It could be a good game. It's just a lost opportunity. All anybody wants is a customizable character in a cool storyline in the Star Wars universe. It's not that fucking hard. It really is.
Somehow it is.
Everybody would buy it.
Listen,
Everybody.
Kathy, hire us.
Yeah.
Please. We just want Skyrim and Star
You
Wars.
could say, dude, and I don't want an MMO. Give me a decent storyline that I do want to follow along. Like, Jedi Fallen Order was a decent storyline. There was just the customized, like, it doesn't change your character at all.
It was a
I
good
want to be able
storyline.
to change the story.
Yeah. Yeah, Fallen Order was a really good step in the right direction, but we haven't had an RPG in Star Wars in a long time. And that customization, like, in the Star Wars universe, it's one of the most diverse universes there is. So to not have any customization options, I have to be a human, I have to be a Jedi in Order 66. Like, that's a cool era. We love that era. But, you know, I want to be a Twi'lek bounty hunter in the High Republic. You know, maybe I have some force powers, but I'm not a Jedi, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and literally, that's the same thing that happens in Mass Effect. You get to choose your goddamn backstory. I'm a soldier.
Right.
Boom.
How easy is
I'm
that?
a war hero. I'm a scoundrel. You get to choose your fucking back. But that's the issue. I feel like they need things to be canon for whatever reason, and allowing choice would not be something like a solidified canon story.
Yeah, sometimes I want to say they have this overarching storyline plan and they have to make sure that their new things slot into it. But half the time the shit doesn't line up. So I feel like they're just kind of making something and then they're putting out comics to like fit that back into canon somehow. And if that's the case, then just make the best game that you can make and then have the authors figure out how to put it back into canon. Like, no one cares if it's a good game and a good story. Like, no one cares if it's like doesn't line up 100% with what you've established.
It's weird because like people had, I mean, like the one issue maybe people had with KOTOR is, was Revan on the light side? Was Revan on the dark side at the end of KOTOR 1? Like, but that's not even an issue. Like, who cares what's canon or not? I got to play both fucking sides and it was awesome both times. So who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that hard. I want to be a Weequay. I want to be a drunk Weequay with a lot of force powers and a stick. That's all I fucking want.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
And a stick. That's what I want. Bocce stick.
It takes them 12 months to do a fucking Princess Leia skin on Battlefront. We're not going to get any options on this new KOTOR.
I would
Every
really
12 months they're going, oh, you can be a Rhodian now.
Yeah.
Oh, Great.
Male Rodian only, no female Rodian.
You see, he's
That's
got the
next
bulge
year.
now.
Yeah, the female Rodian
Before
is
it
next
was a
year.
female.
Yeah. I would. You know what I would really like is if they are working on something. If this rumor is, maybe people are saying like, it's in the KOTOR style, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a sequel or a remake. I would appreciate a game with a brand new story and all brand new characters and brand new setting that's just in the same RPG style of KOTOR. So that's I guess that's an option in the cards as well.
What if you just did a third party? Let's say it's exactly during that timeline of Revan, and what if you play as a fucking Mandalorian?
That'd be sweet.
You get attacked by Revan.
I mean, if anything is working for them now, it's Mandalorians. So,
yeah, there's opportunities. Call Drew. He has a few decent ones. He texts me every once in a while.
call us. I guess need.
Picture this: all the women are naked in this scene. I like it.
That works.
I'm for it.
It works. I'm for it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right.
All
right. Enough shitting on KOTOR. Go ahead.
We're not shitting on KOTOR. We're shitting on EA, I think.
The lack of KOTOR.
Who are we shitting on? I can't tell. Not Drew and not Revan. I was just going to say it is about to be a sad time because we're not going to have a game for how long? 2 years, probably? Here's one new skin on Fallen Order, and then you got to wait 2 years for other shit.
At this point, we are getting rumors of a game happening maybe in 2 years. We're not going to get shit for like 3 years solid.
Yeah.
It's a huge issue. We're barely getting any Star Wars anything right now. There's no movies, no games. I wonder if they're really, really taking it back and trying to do a full relaunch of Star Wars. Because the launch that they had, they were so tied into the storyline that was put in front of them.
Right.
7, 8, 9. Like they had to do it. Like it was in the scripts of Lucas, from day one to do this full thing.
Right.
So I feel like maybe they got that out of the way. They did some fun stuff along the way with Solo and Rogue One. And even like the Mandalorian was kind of the launching point. And then they're just going to do a full restart.
See, I want to agree with you and I want to say yes, but the fact that all the Disney Plus stuff that's been announced is current characters and current canon, I don't know.
But I mean, what are we at? 10 episodes of a Star Wars series every year? That's all we're shooting for?
No, just to start.
They better just to start.
I'll just to start.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of getting things rolling. There's also no reason that you can't have new stories in the Skywalker timeline and also brand new stuff in the High Republic coming out at the same time. Like the door's open.
Jocasta new origin story. Let's line it up. Well, she really loved books, so we put her in the library, and she's been there for about 120 years. So.
Yeah, some people would like that. Some people that
she also has a really fucking badass laser gun behind the bookshelf.
Right.
That happens in the Darth Vader comic. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, don't fuck around with Jocasta New, man. She defend that shit with her life. I finished the Dark Tower series yesterday.
Okay. Letdown. Your face looks pissed.
It's very interesting. I think I've come to the conclusion.
It sucks when you invest that much time into something and it doesn't blow you away.
Well, I don't hate the ending. I don't hate the ending. No,
that's fine.
It's very controversial. And I won't spoil anything in case people haven't read it or are going to read it at some point or whatever. I've come to the conclusion, I think, that extremely popular franchises and universes just don't end well. Like there's no audience is 100% satisfied with the ending of anything. I don't think. Lord of the Rings is close, but everyone complains about the 7 different endings and Frodo leaves and this and that. Obviously 50% of Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. No one likes the Game of Thrones ending. So it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, the very end. The good thing is that the journey is so good, and what I would call the very end of the entire saga is really only the last 100 pages. So there's like a very, very, very small percentage of the entire 7-book story that I dislike, which is good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a reread many, many times over the course of my life that will be happening.
Is that your first full read through?
Yeah. Yeah. I read The Gunslinger like 4 or 5 times. And then I read books 1 through 4 a long time ago. I dropped it for some reason, never picked it back up. And then I just started with book 5 a couple months ago. And now I finished. So
yeah,
I highly recommend it.
Honestly, I really enjoyed the first one. I really did. And then the second one completely lost me. I know we've discussed this.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting just to kind of hit the ground running with maybe the third one after your synopsis. But yeah, I mean, I've been kind of looking for something else to read. I keep like getting 4 or 5 chapters into something and just like, I'm just done with it. So I still haven't invested any time into the Clone Commando. Republic. I don't know why I always say Clone Commando. Republic Commando series. But I will get to that. I mean, I'm excited for that. So
yeah. The Dark Tower is just so interesting to me because it seems like it wouldn't be. It seems like you couldn't pull it off because it's like Lord of the Rings, but in a Western setting, and it also has sci-fi and future stuff, and it also has real world stuff, and it's like got time travel, and it has magic, and it just feels like all your favorite things smashed together would be too much. It would be an overload, but he makes it work. It's got Fallout vibes in it. I don't know. It's an accomplishment for sure. I just, I wish it wasn't just Stephen King. I wish he was able to like say, I've created this universe, like, and do a little bit of world building. Like, you guys go make this story that happens 100 years before the Dark Tower, and branch off and fill the gaps with more stories. But I don't think it's going to happen.
yeah, no, I mean, even in the first one, you get all those aspects. Same, it's Western, futuristic, but also grounded in real time. It's like future past magic.
Future past.
Because I know there's like future past magic, religious, Man in Black, but also like the Beatles.
Yep.
Like there's so many. It does keep you grounded in very specific ways that he can do crazy launch points and have magic and have past and time travel and science.
Oh yeah.
Fiction,
yeah.
But it's still grounded. He plants those seeds though, so you're like, oh yeah. Of course, the gunslinger cowboy dude fighting the magic guy would think this.
And you just roll with it.
It makes sense.
You just roll with it. There's some crazy fucking. That's one of the first times through reading a book series that I felt like the twist at the end of the movie. Like somebody reveals something at the end of the movie, like Kaiser Sose from whatever the fuck that movie is. Stuff like that. I never really got that feeling. Yeah, Usual Suspects. I never really got that feeling in a book, but this time there was like multiple moments by the time you get to like book 5 and beyond. It's like, what the fuck? And then you just roll with it, man. It's like, I don't know. I need to talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away.
You don't, there's no time to question it. Just keep fucking trudging through because the next thing that's going to happen is also going to blow your mind. So it doesn't fucking matter. You're going to forget that. Keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you are a Stephen King fan, well, if you're a Stephen King fan, you probably already read him, but there's a lot of tie-ins to all of his other books. It's almost like everything that he's written is all happening in like this one universe, which is really cool. So seeing that stuff tie in is nice. And I want to go back and watch the movie again now that I finished the series.
Yeah, I'd be interested because one of my favorite books was Firestarter by him, which is very sci-fi-esque, 80s.
Yeah.
A little girl with powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then one of my favorite movies is Stand By Me, which is the Body novel from him. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, even being loose, I've only read 3 books by him. And to be honest, he's not my favorite writer because sometimes I feel like there's so much on the page.
A lot. He goes deep. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like even string you along. Like he doesn't plant seeds. You won't know what the fuck is going on for half the book. And then the second half of the book, you're like, oh, he starts like referring back. But by the time I get to that I don't even remember what happened. Like, come on, dude, you gotta string me along.
Well, he strings a little bit, but he pulls like a Quentin Tarantino almost, like in writing, which is cool. Like he just drops you in, and you have to just kind of like sit with it and accept that you don't quite get it yet. And then all of a sudden, like 3 chapters later, it will go back to that character's point of view, and everything makes sense.
Yeah,
it's good shit.
He does do a lot of jumping point of views too.
Yeah, that there was a couple moments. I mean, it gets to the point where like the main protagonist group is like 5 members, and he'll be jumping between person to person, and it's like hard to follow. But you know, overall, fucking awesome. I'm a big fan. Anyone that likes reading should read it. That's what I'll say.
All right. Now, what you've all been waiting for, another one of Mopar's lists.
Wait, I got one more news thing before your list.
Go for it.
I don't think we talked about this last week. I think we talked about it in the group chat, but not on the show. The Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, good thing you brought that up. I got some pointers on that.
Some pointers? Thank you. I didn't know what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
So this has been like, you know, teased by Snyder on Twitter and things that he's been working on something, but it was officially announced last week. On HBO Max in 2021, we will have the Snyder cut of Justice League. Possibly a 4-hour director's cut, or possibly in 6 episodes, 6 chapters in like TV style.
Okay.
So this is fucking cool. What do you think? I know you're more of a fan of DC than I am, but I've always liked Snyder versions of DC, so I'm excited for this.
You know, this could be the niche that DC needs. What I mean by that is different views of almost the same story. Like let's do a bubbly Justice League for the kids. It's really cool, still really flashy. Then let's almost like an active Legends and canon versions. And I'm not saying make the movie fucking twice, but if there are differences or possibilities like of 2 different styles of the same timeline, let's fucking do it. 4 hours long is a little excessive.
Hell no.
But I'm down for it.
Make it 6.
The thing that I saw that it was supposed to be more wrapped around Cyborg. It says Cyborg was the heart of the movie, which he was like the pivotal part of the movie. Like they needed his help.
Yeah.
And he was like integral in the killing of motherfucker. But like he wasn't like the focal point, which would be interesting. There are other things like Martian Manhunter and the Atom appear, so different not lower level, but more unknown beasts from the East.
Yeah.
I see mentions of 3 Green Lanterns appear instead of just 1. Deathstroke actually breaks Lex Luthor out of prison in this cut.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for.
And then Aquaman visits Atlantis in it. Like, there's a lot of small things. Wonder Woman kills Steppenwolf instead of. I had to rewatch it after reading that it's saying in the Snyder Cut that Wonder Woman kills him.
Yeah.
I was like, how does he die?
So
I went back.
I've only seen it once.
Go ahead.
I actually don't remember.
Wonder Woman hits his like axe thing and breaks it, and he gets scared for the first time, and all of his beings like I guess feed off fear. And they attack him and like carry him away.
Gotcha. Yeah.
While he's screaming, and I was like, really? What? Is he still alive? He got a bunch of spider bites on him or something?
It just didn't feel the same. Like BVS. Well, Man of Steel is Snyder as well, right? Am I correct in saying that? Let me just quadruple check that. Man of Steel, 2013, Henry Cavill. Yeah, Snyder. So this definitely feels like a trilogy. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and then this one. So the fact that this one was so tonally different and was half done by a different team and different director just felt really, really strange. So it'll be nice to kind of see his vision completed through all 3.
It's real. I can't believe. Let's just get back to Star Wars for half a second, just to make my point.
Sure.
I can't believe Solo worked. because of that. Halfway through the making or the idea of a film, they switch directors.
That's true.
And they have to quote correct it, and it still flowed quite well. Now Ron Howard's a fucking genius and knows what he's doing, so I guess he knew what. Well, they also doubled the budget, so
I was gonna say like they were okay with like redoing 85% of it and going over budget to make sure it came out good. If they hadn't, it likely would have ended up like Justice League.
Now Justice League was a jumble, like directorial wise and film. It was all over the fucking place. Some of the obvious stuff with the mustache that was CGI. Like seriously, this film. How much money was put into this fucking film? We can't get this dude to shave his fucking mustache for a month.
The thing I love is that Henry Cavill's in that last Mission Impossible movie, and that's the one that he was filming with the mustache, and he fucking kills it in that. He's so savage. Mustache looks great, and I like that better than Justice League.
Why couldn't Superman just have a fucking mustache?
Because he didn't have one.
Is it that big of a deal?
When he died. I don't know.
I mean, legitimately, why was someone like, he can't do it? Nope. 1948, he didn't have one, so he can't do it now. Hey.
That's funny. And then the other thing was, this is from this morning. Zack Snyder released a picture. And I don't know if you can see this. You should be able to see this.
Oh, great. No, I never see it all.
Oh, hang on. I'm not sharing it. There you go. Now I'm sharing it. Can you see?
No.
All right. Well, I'll send it to you. It's Dark
What is the picture of?
Side. It's Dark Side.
What he's supposed to look like?
Yep. He's back. He's in it. I think he's going to be in it. Like it's going. I don't know enough about the story to say, but there's a picture of him in the film, like a still of it. And I think he's going to be
I see.
Like an actual part of the movie. Unlike the last one, didn't he just like show up and do nothing?
Oh, are we talking about this like it's kind of stand back and there's like lava around him?
Yep, that's the one.
Let me pull this up because he looks like a fucking psychopath, ancient Sith standing there on Mustafar about to murder some younglings. I'm down.
Yes,
I'm
he
ready
does.
for it.
Yes, he does.
Let the blood flow, bitch. Like this dude puts Thanos to shame. This dude looks scary. This dude looks like an enemy, a boss enemy in Doom. That game scared me.
What do you mean he puts Thanos to shame? Elaborate on that.
Thanos is a smart, Dooku-esque, more man. Like he's gonna outthink you. He's super strong, but he's gonna outthink you, and he's always 2 steps ahead. This dude is more of a Vader. He doesn't give a fuck. He's rambling in, and he's gonna fucking win, whether it's murdering you with his mind or cutting your dick off.
Well, you know I love ramblers.
This guy's gonna make it happen.
I love ramblers, so this will be great.
I'm just saying more. This guy looks like a war-torn devil machine. Thanos was a commander, but also got his hands dirty.
Thanos is pretty savage.
I feel like Thanos had his group of people that did a lot of his underlings that did a lot of his work, and without their help, he probably wouldn't have got the rings or all the stones.
Right.
This guy looks like he's getting it one way or the other.
So he's the one that's inevitable.
I'm telling you, this makes me really excited.
Yeah.
This makes me really excited.
No, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready. You've heard us talk, and if you listen to the show, we'll stand by Batman vs Superman all fucking day. So it'll be nice to have this, completion, these 3 in a row.
For how bad Doomsday was, there were aspects of Doomsday that were like scary. Like I guess
I didn't think he was bad necessarily. I mean, he wasn't like a thinking, planning villain. He was just like destroying everything. He was just like a monster.
Yeah, he's a Doomsday. Yeah. So like, I was fine with it. I think like in the realm of the film, it was a little. Do we need this? He's gonna show up 20 minutes till the end, get chopped in half, and we're done. When originally he was an entire comic series.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
What was my point? Oh, there was aspects of him that, like, even though he looked like a terrible skinned turtle, Like there were like demon-esque, like
The Ninja Turtles without their shells. That's what he looked like.
He did. He looked like yeah. I don't know.
I want to look him up.
But my point is, he looked a little scary for how dumb the shape of him was. He was kind of a devil demon-esque beast.
No, he is literally one of the just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but a little more angry. He didn't have enough pizza.
Yeah, he had anchovies. If you put anchovies,
I'm gonna turn into fucking Doomsday and blow everything up.
I'm gonna murder Batman. I think is what he says. No, I think this is cool. I think this is really cool. This really does. This is the first time in a long time that like DC. Okay,
they're coming
I
back.
see something here.
Yep.
Who the fuck canceled this?
Yep.
Who decided not to do this?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hell yeah. So this says HBO Max. I haven't heard of that until just now. Is that something different than HBO Go and HBO Now and HBO? They have like 14 different things now.
Max is, and then there's HBO Ultimate, Supreme,
HBO Supreme,
Above It All,
yep, HBO
and Elite.
Yep, HBO Gordita Crunch.
HBO Crunch. With no sour cream, please.
Please, if you put sour cream. So yeah, this will be cool. I'm ready. Gotta wait another year, but you know, it's cool that he's getting to do this.
Too. He seems like a Draugr Lord from Skyrim.
Fuck
except
yeah,
beefier.
He's been working out. He had the pizza.
He
took Doomsday's pizza.
Went to use there.
Yeah, got that protein.
Plus 10 carrying ability with those boots. Those iron boots.
Cool.
All right, guys.
So that's awesome.
Let's get we're gonna wrap back around. That does really make me excited. I know I just said, but it's been a while since I saw. Dude, guys, man, brethren, Birds of Prey doesn't do it for me. I haven't seen it yet, but it doesn't have that aspect of I want to see that.
What, that aspect? Mopar, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
Justice League didn't do it for me. Justice League didn't do it for me.
Well, maybe you're wrong. Did you ever think about that?
Joker did do it for me.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I really want to rewatch that.
I actually might check out Birds of Prey this weekend if we're looking for a movie to watch, because I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I've still heard decent things. Like it's surprisingly good, not great. Surprisingly good. Like you expect nothing out of it, and you're like, oh, okay, pretty good.
Yeah.
Couple butt cheeks and some swings of the axe.
3 butt cheeks. 3 butt cheeks.
3.
All right, let's hear your idea for revamping the original trilogy there, dude. I want to hear about it.
First of all, it's not revamping the original trilogy. This is discussing the additions during that timeline.
Yeah, revamping.
For example.
Yeah, exactly.
Not revamping. It's just adding to it. All right, so since Disney came in, they've done a lot of work around the original trilogy. And I felt like I didn't want to say that it was like a lost cause. You and I always wanted to move away from the original trilogy, but there were many aspects of the stuff that surround that storyline that I really, really do like. Very small things. For example, I'm going to start this off.
For instance,
the swamp troopers that they added in, or the mud troopers.
Okay, yeah.
That they added in for Solo, the mud skulls. I thought those. First of all, I brought up a picture of them because I was just looking at them.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
I actually forgot.
And they look like a military soldier. Finally, like they've got the dark, muddy, kind of camouflage-esque. Like I know they're all like snow troopers are white because they're in the snow, but this actually like looks like
this one's mud because it's in the mud.
Yeah, but this one looked more practical. They had like things like armor sleeves on their chests,
the chest piece,
the blaster. I mean, it just I really liked them. I thought it was a nice, and you just get to see them in action.
Yeah,
and it just makes sense. The armor looked cool. They just reminded me of more of like a soldier that we know, with a darker green mud camouflage.
What about
I thought those are cool.
Fucking shoulder pad troopers? What are they called again? The range troopers. The white ones. The white ones with the fur. That was the other new one that they introduced.
No, I mean, yeah. Those are cool. They're all right. They're
You.
like a
Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to talk about it.
not too bad.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, if you have ones that you're thinking of that have been introduced recently, yeah, fucking shout them out. The second one's really obvious to me. Imperial security droids, K2SO droids.
Yep.
It's really cool that there's a competent droid. Let me just say that. Like R2 and C-3PO are super helpful. BB-8's great for what he is, but they're not competent. They can't.
R2's competent.
It almost doesn't make sense. Yeah, but he's supposed to fix ships, not murder other droids. Like,
so he's not competent at murder. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
It's just, it's way out there. Having an Imperial security droid just makes a lot of sense.
For sure.
If shit goes awry, we're sending these fuckers out, and it's gonna at least bare minimum, even if it's against a Jedi, it's gonna slow them the fuck down. Like that Revan aspect. Yeah. All Starforge fucking droids go after Revan. We're just trying to slow them down.
Either way, they're gonna be really secure.
Yeah, yeah, and most of these are kind of concepts or like small additions like that. I don't have too many actual characters, but
well, that's one thing they like to do with everything is like, regardless of the era, they bring in new types of stormtroopers, new types of TIE fighters. Same thing happened with Rogue One. Same thing goes on in Rebels too. There's new types of troopers and there's new types of TIE fighters and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what I meant by this, but I put the transition from religion to war, because we get from like a very religious hoity-toity Jedi point of view, and then obviously the waters get muddied and we get to this rebellion, which really is a terrorist group from a certain point of view. But that transition of good to good are on completely different spectrums.
Yeah.
They're both on the good side, supposedly. But I mean, as different as you can. Spies, murder, blowing up innocents. I mean, the rebels, and that's what I've always wanted the rebels to be, are borderline bad guys, but for a greater cause. And that's what we get with Cassian Andor.
Yeah, they need a little bit of an edge.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of closes the gap from like bounty hunters, who in a general sense are bad people. They're murderers, but it closes that gap from bounty hunter to rebel, because there's an overlying evil in the Galactic Empire.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see like very different people interact with each other for a greater cause, even though they would probably hate each other, outside of the circumstances.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on that? I guess my overall thought was the religion to war.
I don't know. I don't get the religion part still, but I know what you mean talking about the rebels. They needed an edge. They needed something. They needed some sort of risk, some sort of stakes. And you don't really see that in the old ones because it's 70s happy dancing. I don't know what you mean by religion though.
So Jedi are religion.
Oh yeah, but they're all gone. They're all dead.
Exactly. So we transitioned from religion to war. Jesus Christ. And the physical passing of the knowledge from Ahsoka to the rebels. So she took what the Jedi failed in their old ancient religion that shot them in the back.
You mean that some part of the rebels are holding the ideals of the religion that is now gone?
I mean, they have to pass it through because obviously we get to a point of Rey.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very different times from we're protecting people in a religious aspect and trying to help people out. And then everything goes awry and it's the complete opposite. We're trying to kill people just to stay alive.
Right.
So it's like a very different mindset, almost for the same cause.
Yeah.
We're just trying to be good people. But sometimes you need to kill bad guys. And
sometimes you do.
Even the Jedi, we don't believe in killing our enemies. Well, you fucking should, because they're your enemies. And it's almost like the downfall of I can't believe Anakin was so in depth in the Jedi that he wanted to save, or he was trying to use the Jedi's own rules to save Sidious. He must go to trial. What? He's too dangerous to be left alive. Bitch, it's your rule that I'm upholding. What are you talking about, Mace?
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because when the circumstances change, everything else goes out the window.
That's what
Goes
I'm
out the
saying.
goes out the
It's
window.
that transition. You can't, your religious rules and all that don't apply in war.
Right.
You have to do what must be done, and then you can get back to peace.
Right.
You know, and Mace knew that, but you know, Anakin had other ideas about whims.
If you have to throw them out the window, then why have them in the first place if they don't apply?
All right.
So when are we going to get that Rey comic post episode 9? All right. Continuing on.
Continuing on. This is one of my characters, Director Krennic. I thought was a great addition to that timeline, and it added a lot of depth to the Imperial Command and how it bleeds down from Vader to Tarkin down to a Krennic.
Yep.
And then all the like engineers of the Death Star. But it also helps separate them. Like Vader was like pissed that Director Krennic came straight to him.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's like,
you are
"Bro,
not welcome here.
You're going over Tarkin's helmet.
Get the exactly. You went over Tarkin's helmet, and Tarkin doesn't even. He's not even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Because that dusty bitch.
You gotta talk to my secretary, man. Get the fuck out. Make an appointment.
But I think the character of Director Krennic does a lot to add to the original trilogy characters. You know, I thought the cold-bloodedness of Tarkin came out when he was dealing with Director Krennic, stealing the plans. Well, stealing the claiming the Death Star for his own.
Yeah.
Even though he had
Stealing
little
the
to
project.
nothing to do with it, but
It's also nice to see a little bit of like bureaucracy within the Empire. Like a lot of it is just, well, the admirals and the soldiers are just doing this, and Vader is kind of running amok because he's a Sith Lord, so he chokes a couple of them, and that's it. But you don't see any like conflict amongst the ranks. So it's interesting to see like Krennic's been working on this project, and then his superior is just taking it out from under him because he just can. He doesn't give a shit. So that's interesting to see.
Moving right along, the Death Troopers are one of the most badass things as far as troopers that have ever been added.
Until they show up in Rebels, yes. I agree with you.
I love the Death Troopers.
Me too. They're fucking sweet.
I think they needed a special band of special forces in the Imperial Navy or whatever, Imperial Army. All the stormtroopers that are running around, I don't care if you're a scout trooper or any of it, you all suck ass. And
your fodder.
One little dude, like a fucking strong punch would kill all of them.
Yeah.
Death Troopers were formidable, and I was happy that they finally got to that point. And just the small little aspects with the communication thing where it scrambled it and then, you know, received it and retranslated. It's such a badass idea.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're murdered out. They're completely murdered out, looking black on black on black. They had the black decals. They got the Hemi badge on the side of their helmets. I fucking love it. They look cool. They sound cool, and they are cool. Sign me up. That's one of the things that I've really hated about the original trilogy, how incompetent the troopers are.
Yeah. They get nothing done.
And I think that's what actually the prequels did very well. Like the clones were formidable.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know,
clones are fucking savages.
I'm not going to say
clones are the best.
I'm not going to say that the droids weren't formidable, but we do see a little bit of like, the average droid, you could literally push them over and they probably are broken.
I think it's a matter of framing because, yeah, like in the cartoons, the droids do nothing. They say Roger, Roger, and then they fall over. They get blasted like so quick. But then you have moments like the scene in Mandalorian when he's having that flashback, and like the super battle droids are giant Terminators that are murdering everything. So I think that's also a part of how they frame the story too. Like, you know, no one was shooting Luke and Leia back in '77. It just wasn't happening.
Right. Well, you need kind of throwaway troopers. I get it. But I do think the Clone Wars cartoon and, throughout the prequels, they both sides are very formidable. I do feel like, especially like on Geonosis, like the droids are fucking shit up.
Yep.
And they're marching, and you just see like people start dying. You're like, oh shit! Like this is an actual war. All of a sudden, this is fun.
The war has begun. Yes, begun.
War
the
has
Clone
begun.
War has.
Moving right along, Han and Chewie's meeting.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along.
And you don't have to get in depth with anything that comes from Solo. I'm on board for all of it. I thought everything that Solo added to canon was great. I have no complaints.
Yeah, I just, it jumped out to me. That was a very pinnacle thing to put on, very risky thing to put on screen. Especially with all the risks they were already taking, having a younger Han, choosing who they did. It could have gone very wrong, and I think a lot of people could have had a lot of issues. That's one of the things, even if people didn't like Solo, I don't hear a lot of issues with that scene, with how Chewie and Han meet.
Right.
They help each other out, and, they both benefit from it, and that's kind of what their relationship was going forward. They work well with each other, basically. I actually also wrote, with Han getting thrown down there and helping Chewie out, there was some sense of an unspoken life debt.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that we mentioned when we were reviewing the movie, that it is unspoken, and we're glad it's unspoken. Like, there isn't like a Zelbar conversation where he says, "This is the custom of my people. I owe you a life debt now. I'm going to follow you around until I die."
No. And if they would have read it out to us, it would have been terrible.
Yeah. It's just understood.
The idea of having one that's unspoken, I don't think they really hinted hard to it, but it is there.
Yeah.
I feel
Sure.
At least from Chewbacca's point of view. Actually, I saw like a meme about Chewbacca being so old. He's like, dude, Han was basically his like third dog. Like, he's had humans before.
That's funny because Chewie is the furry one, and you think of like him being Han's sidekick or Han's pet, but Chewie's the one that's really in charge, man. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah,
he's been around the block. He knows what's up.
He's got to feed him, wipe his ass.
Put Han in diapers.
All right, we're gonna get through this. I wrote Vader's cold descent, detaching himself from who he used to be. We see a lot of that in Rebels with his interactions with Ahsoka. We see kind of the visual play out of this at the end of Rogue One, where he's no longer a person. Mm-hmm. This dude's a murdering bastard that no one understands, and he's alone machine. Forever.
Yeah.
But we do see, it was nice to see it in the Clone Wars, that downfall, and then in Rebels where there's still small little aspects on, what was it? Not Dathomir. Where he faces Ahsoka.
Malachor 5.
Malachor, thank you. Where he faces Ahsoka there, and you finally see like he's more machine now than man, but visually.
Right.
Like, you even see Anakin's face, and he's no longer there. It's blank hatred.
It's just the Sith eye.
I thought they did that and explained that and played it out extremely well. The execution of Vader's downfall, even in a cartoon aspect, was done very well. That's what I've always wanted to see. That's why that's one of my favorite books. I want to hear his inner thoughts, his inner pissed about just everything.
His inner piss. I agree.
Like I said, we don't ever see that in the original trilogy till the end of 6, where he's like, "You've constructed a new lightsaber." Where he's not 100% pissed.
That's the only time he's not pissed. He's just curious. Like, yeah, it's a pretty good engineer.
I had one of these when I
always wish I could have had a green one.
I'll finish this up. Got 2 more. Saul Guerrera. I like the character.
Yep.
I think he plays a pivotal point. I think he plays kind of a contrasting point. We've got the rebellion, then we've got the psychopaths who are also for that greater good, but just ruthless in their conquest of that greater good.
Yeah.
They've left all morals out.
Yep. All bets are off.
I do feel like where we were just talking about where the Jedi are more of a religion, then you have the rebels, and then Saw Gerrera is the complete opposite, where he's almost no better than the Imperials themselves. He's just a little more of an asset because they're killing Imperials. So
they use him when they need him.
Exactly. But he is almost like an enemy. Like, isn't it Mon Mothma? Like, oh yeah, she like slow plays it. She's like, we can't even get in front of this dude. He's a psychopath, but he's also really well grounded and has his like bunker of people around him. Like, he's very guarded, very secretive,
40 years,
and very murder filled.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like he's taking. How am I trying to say this? It needs to come out the right way. He's doing what the Jedi did in the Clone Wars to their religion, to what the rebellion is supposed to stand for. Like, he's kind of almost losing sight of like what the rebellion is supposed to be doing because he's taking it that far. Like, he believes in it so much that he's even going a little bit overboard with it. If that makes any sense.
But even doing that in a wartime has its uses.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and they play on
being that ruthless, you want someone that ruthless on your fucking side. At least he's fighting for the same. Don't you? The dream, or what does he call it? Yeah, it's. What does he say? It. Do you believe? The bite. Go. Yeah. I thought that the addition of Saw Gerrera was a cool contrast to what I've always hated about the Rebels, where they happy dance. There is some deep darkness, bleak blackness to the Rebels, and yeah, he fits it perfectly. I like him. I like him in Rebels. I like him in Rogue One, and even when he pops up in Jedi Fallen Order, like,
yep, I like that.
You see his purpose almost in that, and he's using everything, all his resources to get what he wants done. Whether everybody likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
He has his followers, which is cool. Very cool. I want to wrap this up. The last one was the Purge Troopers, just to finalize the Fallen Order. I love the Purge Troopers from Fallen Order. And the different styles of them. They're like focused on different
different techniques, different weapons. Yeah.
Different techniques. Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yeah.
But it says specifically is that the Purge Troopers were commanded by Vader and the Inquisitors. I did have a snippet here that I thought you would really like. Some of the Purge Troopers were actually the last batch of clones.
Oh, hell yes. Making up for what that fucking lieutenant that I tried to hire, and he missed Obi-Wan Kenobi's shot, and he got away. I'm trying to make up for that. Maybe Commander Cody. Maybe I became a Purge Trooper.
I thought that was really cool that they were kind of finishing up the last batch, and they ended up using those, like, and they were completely unlocked, I think. So they were the last batch of Jango clones. Ended up being Imperial Purge Troopers. Not only are they badass and difficult to beat in the game, they look cool. They make sense. They do have the version 2 or whatever you fucking call it of the clone armor, so it's resistant to lightsabers.
Wow. Nice.
So there's a lot of cool aspects around the Purge Trooper that I just love. Again, it's kind of along the lines of Death Troopers, Imperial security droids, competent enemies is all I need.
Things that can kick your ass.
Enemies, your heroes have to be even better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, man, I'm going to get triggered again. I scrolled past a picture of a mod from Battlefront where there was a Purge Trooper as like a special upgraded class in Battlefront. And I'm just thinking like, man, how fucking cool would it have been to have like Purge Troopers with like 5 different skins? And goddamn, motherfucker. They just take everything.
EA!
Why in some areas is it so easy for them to add depth and make it so robust? But in other areas, like in the video game, it's just like, it feels like they can't get anything done. I don't understand the difference. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to bring it back up.
Yeah, You know, we always blame EA, but wasn't it DICE that kind of was the
DICE
engine
is the
behind
developer, but you know they are restricted in some sense by what EA decides and what they give them as far as budget and manpower. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming. Well, DICE has a lot on their docket. They're not just doing Star Wars stuff. They have actually good video games that they have to work on too.
Yes, they have to make real games.
But yeah, I wonder if there was a disconnect between EA and DICE and Disney and EA. Like, there's got to be something there. I feel like making a skin is not that hard. Like, they made 30 clones. Why is there 30 clone armors? But
12 Luke skins.
Purge Trooper.
Yeah. Yeah, like even at the very least, just having that as like a skin for the heavy class would have been cool. But whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think what they've done with the original trilogy era, they've added so much depth to it, which I personally think they needed. The original trilogy's storyline was pretty straightforward. That I'm not shitting on it. It was 1977. They had to make a fucking movie. So
yes, they did.
They did what they did, and it launched all this stuff. But it's cool to be able to kind of revitalize it. Everything that they built there. You know, and one-offs like the Han and Chewie meeting. Like, thank fuck that happened.
Yep. On
screen, and it ended up well. Yeah, I like it. So
I'm gonna have to go watch Solo this weekend. It's been so long.
Yeah, I think I already voted on Joker. I might boot that up, but yeah. Let us know your thoughts on Jocasta Nu. So
that's my favorite addition to the canon. Is her. Cool, good list. No, I like it. It's nice to have that additions. I would say, like, I hate having to rank the trilogies or the eras, but I would say original trilogy is probably like at the bottom of my list of the Star Wars eras. So when things like this can happen and spark a little more interest in it, I appreciate that. So good shit, Mopar. Well done.
My
good and faithful apprentice. My faith in you is restored.
We're done. I want some orange soda. I want some pizza. I want some cookies.
Pizza sounds good. I need to fix my back because I don't know if I can get out of the chair right now.
I need to fix my back.
So
pizza sounds great. I'm broken.
Someone hand me my controller. I'm just gonna sit here and play video games.
Can someone feed me
please?
A pizza?
Put the tube in my arm. Put midichlorians in my blood. All right, that's enough.
Look at my eyes.
What's wrong with your crazy eyes, old man? All right, well, that's all. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, thank you. Done. Recording is over.
HBO Max is brand new. Sorry, I missed the chat there. No one was speaking for like an hour, so I tuned out. And then
it's just Nelson being an idiot.
Nelson.
Just kidding. Just Nelson. Rank the sequels. 897, 879, 798, 987. I don't know. How about they're all the same?
Wow, you're putting 7 at the end?
I don't know. I just changed it 14 times. I can't tell. I would probably say 879.
You know what? I might actually do 7, 8, 9.
So they get slightly worse each time?
I mean, I feel bad saying that, but 7 I feel like is the most solid. 8's probably the most exciting, and 9 is here and there. I mean, they took a lot of risks, but there's some stuff in 9 I'm like,
Yeah, I can vibe with that.
You know what I feel? I feel that like they didn't fuck up, but it was unnecessary. Was like putting Lando in like a pivotal role, and not that he has a lot of screen time, thank God. Yeah. But even the conversations he has, He has it with Poe. We had each other. And then he goes and saves the day he recruited the entire galaxy in about 25 minutes.
There's 40,000 ships there.
Yeah. You know, it's Star Wars. I'm fine with it, but it's weird for me to say that I wish there was a little less Lando in 9.
Could always do with less Lando.
Less Lando. But that smile. All right, guys, I'm done with